Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the MTG Paper Legacy Discord's Quarter 3 Invitational. I am PresBUTW, and now I'm joined in the booth by Doc DeLeo. How's it going today?
Hello, 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 everybody. It is another invitational. I am back. It feels good to be on stream once again.
I
And
agree.
we have one of my favorite decks that has been here the last couple of invitationals, but hasn't been on camera yet. We got Ruby Storm. And this is a deck
Yes.
I've been wanting to watch for so long because the things that this thing does, it feels like powerful magic.
Ruby Storm? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you just generate tons of mana, you just draw a ton of cards, you exile a bunch of spells, and you just, like, slam a massive grape shot with just pew, 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 pew,
Yeah.
take it down. So,
Of note
I'm
as well,
excited for
this
it.
this build, as we discussed in the podcast there, this build running the new AFR Classic Wish. Oh, that's
Oh,
a sick
yeah.
card in this deck because you can just like, yeah, I'll just cast a wish because I have the mana reforged soul. Keep going through my turn. Remember that I cast wish at some point, and I'll just randomly just wish for this thing whenever I want, and it doesn't have to be a specific card type, and I can just play it whenever. Like you can
Yeah,
just
exactly.
cast wish, LED a whole bunch of stuff, discard your entire hand, keep going, and then play something else entirely, and it's gross.
Yeah, exactly. Also, oof. Yeah, I gotta point out, hey, man, like those cuffs, the watch, oh, looking crisp.
Yep.
Okay, not the only one showing up here looking good. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we have here the two things that I want to point out in the Ruby Storm list. One, the Modern Horizons 2 card, Galvanic Relay.
Yes.
Brian Cook swears by this card. It is the card that is like re-brought back TES, and seeing it here, I can definitely see why, you want it as a one of, but it is also in, is there one in, oh yeah, and we have another one in the board for, Burning Wish. I think this card is so busted, and I really want to see some like powerful things with this card in addition to things like bonus round. So it's just gonna be a while to watch.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
but then bringing it back over here to the mid-range and to the fair world, Reclaimer. It's solid. We've seen it all day so far. It is really, really good. It's got that mid-range grindy plan. Yeah. What do you want to say about it?
Um, I think both players are more than capable of winning this matchup. I think Dalibor will be able to assemble a very fast clock very easily and be able to pressure AG if AG stumbles at all. That being said, though, with Dalibor being again, as you mentioned, a fair deck, I think Og has a chance to literally just blow him out very
Yeah.
fast.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's what I was about
Sideboard's
to
different,
say.
but game
Hey,
one, I think AG's heavily favored.
oh yeah. When we're looking at this situation, and we're looking at this current build, it's not a blue deck, so you don't get free cards like Force of Will.
Hmm.
Your primary form of interaction can be Abrupt Decay, hitting the rubies, and then probably just a fast clock and pressure. You're gonna really want that turn one reclaimer, but like she just like is so capable of like fighting through it. But even when we get to the sideboard here, the sideboard, I'm not even seeing that much hate. Like the Aether Canoness is like decent. Like it
Yeah.
is really decent in here. Like that's gonna really hurt. But even then, Aether Canoness Collector Roof, I think there's enough pieces in this deck to just fight through all that. So
Yeah.
like it's gonna be interesting, and I really do can't wait to see how much mana
Ooh.
Bergie produces.
Is this a mulligan to five?
Ooh, who?
Dalibor.
Ooh, shit.
Eee. This is not where you want to be. Looks like. Oh, Og's on
No,
the
a
mulligan to 5 too.
she keeps 5. Oh, Dalbert Mole to 4,
Oh,
HE Moles to 5. Oh,
wow.
wow. This
On
is
that note, mulligan to 4 is a bingo square.
who anybody got Mulligan to 4?
Yeah. this game or this
All right,
matchup is actually good for setting me up for a bingo because I needed mulligan to 4, instant or sorcery deals lethal
ooh.
damage, and a card is cast from a graveyard.
Okay, we are going, you know what we're going for? We are going for this is like garbage time magic. 100% garbage time magic where you're just like it's going to be a slog through, and then all of a sudden just one person's going to break through and take it.
Yeah. So Dalabor's going to keep 4. On the bright side, at least their opponent's on a mull to 5 as a spell-based combo deck, but even then, like, eesh.
Oh yeah.
Also, Reforge the Soul, though, could totally change everything.
Oh, Reforge the Soul just like completely changes everything, but like you have the choice to cast that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Reforge the Skull and like other cards from like the Wish mechanic,
Wait, is there
uh
no more Reforged of Souls in this list?
yeah, there's no Reforge. Is there one in the
Whoa.
board?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it's not there. Yeah. I guess
Wow,
they're off
maybe
that.
not.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they got Ignite the Future, which is just better, and as well as like Jessica's Will, which is
Yeah.
also like 1,000 times better as well.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh yeah. So, do we have play draw?
Yes, it'll be Dalibor on the play.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, they were just waiting for us. Didn't realize that they were waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dalibor on the play. Yeah, we're gonna look for 100%. First thing that we're gonna want is Dork. There we
Yep.
go. That's
Which we're
something.
gonna get a Dryad Arbor here.
Oh, okay. What term do you think AG is gonna go for it?
Given that it's a mull to 5, I'm gonna say turn 4.
Or four? I could see that. I mean, it has the deck has some pretty busted turns. Oh, this is a Sandstone Needle uh deck as well. I forgot that this deck played that. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, the Marcadian Mask draft common special. ETB tapped with 2 depletion counters, but you can tap it to add 2 red mana and remove a depletion counter.
Yeah.
And you just need to do it once.
Yep.
All
Just
right,
making
we
sure
got
that Arbor's
Mountain.
bumped up front. Mountain. Ooh, rocking the nice unlimited mountains.
Ooh.
Respect.
Okay,
Love
where does
me some white
unlimited
borders.
rank in your mountain tier? Because
Uh
we know your mountains are primo. Like you have the primo mountain. So tell me what you think.
third place. Personally I prefer Guru. I'm gonna count Alpha Beta as the same set, so that would be number 2, and then Unlimited is number 3. I like them because they
What
say the
about
word tap.
okay? What about the Arabian Night Mountains?
Oh. Oh.
Oh, you got to factor
Okay,
that in,
that's
homie.
probably number 2, to be
That
totally honest. I
oh
don't own
yeah,
any though because I suck. So
yeah, yeah. Like that's a actual serious tier list.
yeah.
Chat, let us know
Also,
what is your tier list for mountains.
yeah. Also, getting a Sylvan Library on a mull to 4 after having the Green Sylvan for the Dryad Arbor, incredible.
Yeah, and no other land drop. So this is going to be 100% taking 8. Hey, off the first one.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Fair.
Someone forgot to
Yeah.
flip over a Burgie. Oh no, that's a Shatter Skull smashing.
Ooh, taking 3. Yep. Taking
Okay,
3.
so this is going to be Shatter Skull Pass.
Oh no, it's not Shadow Skull Pass. Looks like we're doing something with it. Right of
Rite of
Flame. Oh,
Flame.
okay. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
Oh, are
apparently
we
this
going
is a turn
Burgundy?
2 combo.
Oh, is she breaking out the cards? Okay.
Here we
Okay.
go.
All right.
And let's see here. I need one more for the
Storm
bingo.
Hype.
One more for the bingo. Damn it.
Okay. So Storm is 3, mana is 6. What
Yep.
do we got? What do we got here?
3. Oh,
Wish.
Wish. Okay.
Okay, that goes down to 3 mana. What are we going for?
So we're going 4 mana here.
You don't have enough
Wishing.
for Pass and Flames.
No. What could this be? Empty the
Oh,
warrens. Oh,
empty the
just making
warrens.
10 goblins? I
Ooh,
like this a
ooh,
lot.
ooh. Yeah, that making gobos.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Dalbor has 0 answers to this.
That's 10 goblins on turn 1,
Yeah,
game
we don't
1,
have.
or game 2. Oh,
Yeah, we don't have. There's no. Yeah, no tabby. Yeah, this can be lethal.
yeah. Also, unglued goblin tokens. Love it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, have you never played against? Dalbor? Like,
I've
have you
never
never
played
played
against
against?
them on Ruby Storm before, no.
Oh yeah. Just pure class. Pure class.
Absolutely. Dalibor
Yeah.
looking at those 3 cards from Sylvan Library deep in the tank. Let's see how highly he values his time
Yep.
IV.
Yep. Exactly. I do like this. So I think Alfred, I think he took a
Keeps.
3 from the Shatter Skull Scashing, so he's at 17.
Yeah,
So he can technically die from a Merit Lage, but like not that fast.
yeah. So it looks like he's casting Reclaimer and then grants the Zenith for 1. Plays Flagstones,
He's
gets
one
second
plays
Reclaimer.
one
I like
card off
that
the
actually.
library.
So Reclaimer can profitably block these Goblin tokens,
Hmm.
and I think this is Dalibor's best bet. Of note, though, Dalibor is now Hellbent.
Yeah. I mean, you're hellbound going into your next turn because you know you're gonna live, but you're gonna go into your next turn with a Sylvan Library. It's not bad.
Yeah, I like from a mull to 4 and a turn 2 Storm 5 empty the Warrens. Dalibor's in a great spot.
Yeah, yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
And you do know that your opponent.
smash.
You just turn. You just turn sideways.
Yeah, blocks 2 of them.
Yeah.
Crunch
So
in.
take 8. So you're gonna die 2 at a turn, but even then, I think that's gonna be lethal enough. But it depends on like what Dalwar can do on their turn.
Yeah,
Uh, I think. Do we have? Ooh, if you're able to get. Ooh, if you're able to wish for a blast zone, you could activate that.
yeah.
That blow up the board. Um, grape. Hey, like grape shot. Like any
Interesting.
sort
Yeah,
of. There's no bolt though. That's what I'm looking for. Is a bolt.
yeah,
And it's a fiery confluence. There's a fiery confluence that can essentially work as a bolt. 2 damage to each opponent,
yeah.
and you can do that 3 times. 2, 4, 6. You can do 6 damage off.
Oliver, we're actually talking about AHG's sideboard. Og has the blast zone in the sideboard.
Yep.
So it'll come in on
Uh,
1 and clear out the Elvish Reclaimers. That's
yeah,
what
we're
we're
looking
talking
for
about.
wish targets. Because there's one more wish left in the deck, and then there are 3 burning wishes. So we can at least, if it's a wish, we can get a blast zone. If it's a burning wish, we can find and a fiery confluence. But
Yeah.
we need to
Of
just
note, we're still 1 mana shy of being able to cast Wish, though.
yeah, still one mana shy.
Yeah.
Um, Dalabor's got to be sweating though.
Oh, yeah. He says, Astrid Table Spotter is mentioning here, Dalibor is doing the math, still looking at the 3 cards from library, seeing if this is even worth trying to fight through.
Yeah, just sit there, just like contemplating. Just okay, if I could do this, but I could do this, but I don't have this much mana. But if I tap this mana, then it takes me off a creature.
Yeah.
You literally do the meme with the math in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
Classic meme. So it looks like he's staying in. Finds a land, gets Dark Depths. Okay, this is actually a really good spot to be in. Given that you can block 3 of the goblins now, put you back down to 5, and get a Merit Lage coming in a couple turns. Because you can sacrifice the flagstones here, go get a Thespian stage and another land, so you're ramping up. And like,
ooh,
whoa.
do you kill enough? Like, do you kill in time?
That's the thing though,
Also,
is you still have to get through this combat, right?
yeah. Also, if we just get a single what's it called? What's what's the ritual that adds on mana? I don't know. I'm not a Rite of Flames. If we get
Manamorphose.
Rite of Flames, if we get a
Yeah,
single Rite of Flames, that adds it's
4 mana.
3. Okay,
Okay,
so
so we
we're going.
Manamorphosed empty, getting double red, and drawing a card. Storm 1, Ancient Tomb. Okay,
Okay, that's mana. That's a lot of mana.
that is indeed mana.
Storm 1, 2 red floating.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana here in order to wish and activate the Blast Zone.
There. Sorry for making your eyes twitch, homie.
I think he
So
has it set up in a way that it's specifically set up to be facing towards his
the
opponent.
opponent,
So
yeah. I do think that even if we do a galvanic relay setup, I think that might be good enough because galvanic relay does a lot here towards your next turn.
yeah,
So, and you know you're still gonna have a turn of at least before a merit lage is coming at you.
Yeah.
So that could possibly be in hand. I also don't mind just like slam and ignite the future for 4 mana.
Hmm. Taps the ancient tomb. Fist comes
Goes
down hard
in.
on the table. Deep in the tank.
Yeah,
And I
this
think
is
that's just it, is he's probably recognized like, oh, I have a really fast clock coming my way soon.
yeah, this is super tight because of the fact
Jessica's
that they're
will.
yeah. Okay, so are we mana or are we exiling cards?
Hmm.
We're exiling the top 3 cards. Mountain, Manamorphose, Desperate Ritual. Desperate Ritual's
Ooh.
good.
Yeah.
Do we don't have a land drop, but we don't have a if we
The
have a
problem is
ritual?
that we have only one mana open. So all three of those are just duds.
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately that needed to hit a piece of free mana. It needed to hit Lotus Petal, an LED, something.
So now here's the question: is do you block with the Dryad Arbor?
If I'm gonna rotate it, might as well.
Well, so contrary, right? There's a Flagstones of Trocaro. I imagine that's what Dalibor is going to be rotating because that actually ramps
And
you.
then the mana is more important because you use it to activate.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we did block all three, tapping it for a green, sack this, and then rotate out. Ooh, no, he's thinking about it. Yeah,
yeah.
rotates out the
You got to rotate
Flagstones.
out. Yeah, because you're gonna go up a mana anyways. So yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Yeah, leaving
Oh,
the goblins
Reclaimer
on the
math.
board because this is
I
still
don't do
before
that either.
damage. Yeah, so we're gonna see. Oh, interesting. Oh no, he'll need to get a stage here because I was gonna say you can use Sajiri Step to save the Dryad Arbor, but the problem is that you need a Thespian stage.
You need a stage.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need the stage because you can search for the planes off of the trigger with the step,
yeah,
but you have to search for this the non-basic
yeah.
the non-typed land.
This man, I thought Dalibor was gonna be run right over as soon as the Empty the Worms for 5 happened.
Yeah. It's
This
so
is
it,
wild.
but it's so close. Like
Yeah,
each card and each flip of every draw has mattered in this
yeah.
matchup. Because of the fact that Dalibor was able to catch up using the Sylvan Library. I honestly think the Sylvan Library is what saved him.
I think so. Of note, he's also at 7, and he's got 5 tokens to deal with here. But we also have a Merit Lage coming in across next turn, so
I,
you
if
know
we could,
that might have worked there. But is there actually an Urborg in this list? No, there is not. There's a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, which I suppose
yeah,
could have worked, but
Urborg activated the other on the Arbor.
that being
Uh,
said, though, HG still has live draws here.
yeah, each player. I mean, he just literally. Hey, so he knows he's gonna get at least 2 damage with the goblins because 3 are gonna get blocked. Being 2 of them are gonna be the elves and the merit lage are gonna block through their goblins. You get 2 damage. That means that he needs a storm of 5 to kill with grape shot. Or is it?
Oh, he's
Oh
is he scooping up?
no. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Probably
Dalibor
missed.
took it down on a Mulda 4 versus the Storm deck.
Oof, those goblins are close. Honestly, the elves being 1/2s is what saved them.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
it's the old Death Right Shaman conundrum because the fact that it wasn't just the fact that Death Right Shaman was a 1 mana planeswalker, it was the fact that it was a 1 mana 1/2. That was huge. That blocked Goblin Lackey, blocks Goblin tokens from, not only, like, Storm, but off of things like, the Goblin thing that, Goblin what's it called? The, red decks play it.
Goblin
I don't
Lackey.
no, not just Goblin Lackey, the 3 mana one that produces a 1/1.
3 mana one that produces a 1/1.
It's got red decks play it. Goblin, and then it attacks and gains +1/+0 for each goblin. Rabble Master, thank you,
There you
Bear.
go. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Rabble Master. I don't know. I don't play red decks. So like I figured the rest of y'all that play the stuff would know. But yeah, it was the fact that Deathrite Shaman could also block all of those and safely still activate and do its abilities. So
Yeah.
because of the fact that those Elvish Reclaimers were 1/2s, able to just soak up so much damage and keep on doing it, it just saved the entire game. It was so good. Great play grabbing the extra Reclaimer with the Green Sun's Youth. So,
Absolutely.
all
So
right.
in the sideboard here for HG, we got one copy of Rite of
Well,
Flame Extra, a Blast Zone, a Shattering Spree, Defense Grid, Ratchet Bomb, Grape Shot, Galvanic Relay, Anarchy, Fiery Confluence, Empty the Warrens, Past in Flames. I'm just trying to remember with all these funky arts on the screen here. Tendrils of Agony, Echo of Aeons, Chandra Awakened Inferno, and Peer into the Abyss, a 15 card wish board.
yeah. So, 15 1/ofs, which I mad respect for because you're gonna wish for all of this.
Yeah, I don't think you
Um,
board in a single card.
so there are some cards I think you do board. Um, because there are things that you just want to play on curve.
I guess the Ratchet
Excuse me
Bomb and
there.
Defense Grid, yeah.
So like yeah, so Ratchet Bomb, you don't care about defense grid, you're not gonna be doing anything with that. This is an enforceable match. But Ratchet Bomb, things like even Fiery Confluence, I could say you want to play that on rate. In addition to Chandra Awakened Inferno, because you don't want to wish for that, otherwise it makes it cost 9 mana. So
Yeah,
I think those three are three solid bring-ins that can all see like good action in here. And there can be some things you can cut.
yeah,
So, because remember, there are 2 defense grids in the main, so you have 2 free cuts.
that's true. Yeah,
So,
I
let's
think
hop
that's
over to
definitely true.
Dalbor, hit me with that shit.
So, on Dalabor's side, we got the absolute snap include-ins, 3 copies of Ethersworn Canonist, a Collector Oof, 2 Choke, 2 Endurance, 3 Plague Engineer, the All-Star, as we saw, versus Pain Cow, Outland Trapper, I believe it is,
Yep.
2 Force of Vigor, and Kaya Orzhov Usurper.
Okay, so for me, I like the 3 Eastern Canis and the 1 Collector Roof as just solid immediate bring-ins.
Yeah,
You do have some things that really don't matter, like your Sylvan Safekeeper and Scrib Ranger are doing nothing because your opponent's not gonna interact with your combo. It's not gonna interact with you. It's just gonna kill you. So because of that, you can take out your Trixie does stuff, like even like the Field of Dead you can cut because you're more about like staying alive if on turn 1 and be able to, slam a turn 2 hate piece. So I love Collector Roof, Acerorn Canoness, those 4 bring-ins. I will give special 100% consideration to Outland Liberator. There are artifacts in AG's decks, such as things like the Medallion, that are good to hit. So the fact that it does a good Quasali Pride Mate, hey, impression in addition to a Trigon Predator if it so happens. So it's one of those things that I will give special consideration to that if you have the cuts.
yeah, exactly. Another thing as well, the Swords to Plowshares don't look very good in this matchup, but Bergie's absolutely worth swordsing every single time without fail.
No, Kai, it doesn't steal the 1 drop, it exiles a cutie, so it's one of those things that it's very good at exiling and removing that one thing, but there's not really many 1 drops in this deck. I don't think there's a single, like, actual 1 drop permanent. Where it does really do its diligence is in the plus and the ultimate, but I don't think it's gonna be fast enough in this matchup.
No. That being said, I do think Kai is a really good pick against the meta if you were expecting a lot of Delve cards like Murktide Regent. Just absolutely house them.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. The that in combination with, like, decks like Uro that really leverage Uro, you can just house them with a Kaya that they're not expecting. You're just like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna exile, like, all this stuff to escape." It's like, "Cool, that's, like, +5 damage on my Kaya ultimate, lols."
Yeah.
Yeah, the card is really good. I own one for a lot of my Esper build sideboards. It is just a solid card.
Yeah, so it looks like players are shuffling up here. Hopefully, we won't get mulligans into oblivion like we did last game.
Yeah, yeah, that does feel a little bit unfortunate, and like that catch-up mechanic of Sylvan Library is awesome. It is really a little bit sad that Sylvan Library is such a gamble now. It can be like such an amazing card if you're able to just use it as a catch-up mechanic, but Prismatic Ending is just an on-curve answer to it.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
it's just so easy to just get rid of now.
Hmm. Yeah, so it looks like Dalibor is going to mulligan again, and then Og keeps a full 7. So that's not what you want to see for
That's
Dalibor.
scary. That's
Yeah,
scary. Because of the fact that you have to remember Dalibor is a turn 2 hate piece kind of deck.
yeah,
The best is that Dalibor can do is in addition with Mox Diamond, which is only unfortunately 2 of in this list.
yeah,
So it's one of those things, it's so tight that like Delabor's his list, like, unless they're able to go, turn 1, uh, Mox Diamond land, slam a Gaddock Teeg, it's gonna be really hard.
yeah. Dalibor is also playing late in the afternoon as well. Like it is, maybe it's only like 8 9 o'clock there, but it's getting pretty late in the day there for them as well.
Aggressively
It's
drinks caffeine.
yeah, it's 2:30 in the afternoon for me right now, but
So that being said, you know, HE, he's not running the Epic Gamble. So the
no,
Epic Gamble is the latest iteration of Ruby Storm, which is the fastest version. It is a lot more all in. It is an epic gamble. It is 100% all in to the point that it's like doing like the TES thing. It's like I have no cards in hand. This what's it called?
thing needs to resolve.
The Echo of Eons need to resolve. Like, please
So
don't force will me.
he actually kept the defense grid in, which is
Why?
interesting.
I'm so
I
confused
think it
as
might be because that he doesn't want him to force a vigor him mid combat or mid combo. Huh.
is Force of Vigor even that much of a consideration?
I'm not entirely sure unless he's worried about defense gridding as well. Cuz like or sorry, abrupt decay hitting Bergie. Cuz if that happens mid combo that could
I mean,
potentially
you're
stop
taking
you.
let's be real here. You have 4 Swords of Plowshares in the deck. If you're really that concerned about it, you're taking out the Abrupt Decays.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't like that when your opponent is just a lands-based activation deck.
Ruby
Oh, though we do have a
Medallion,
Ruby Medallion.
the namesake card of the deck. This is why this deck is called Ruby Storm. Aside
Yep.
from just being mono red storm, but
Yep. And my question is, does Dalibor have an Abrupt Decay
or does he have a canonist?
or Canonist can do it? Canonist on turn 2, I think is very much almost lays out.
Um, Potentially
I mean, there's a very specific set of answers to it being, you can grape shot it,
yeah.
you can
Savannah,
ratchet bomb it, but
is this it? Yeah, we got
that's
the
a
canonist.
Canonist. Whoo!
Kapow.
Uh, that feels bad.
This does feel bad. So
Card is good. All
you
right,
have the ratchet
talk
bomb.
to us about Candace as Prez. I know this is one of your favorite cards.
Oh yeah, using it proactively at least. Yeah, no, I am a huge fan of Ethersporn Canonist. I play it main deck in my Painter deck, which is a toolbox recruiter combo deck, and you use it as a way to be like, my opponent casts a spell in response to me trying to kill them. Cool. Pyroblast your spell. That was your one spell. You don't get to try again. Very
Yeah,
proactive
so
there.
Candace is very good. It's gonna be very difficult for her HG to stop it, but I would like to first say Shaman XL, thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Go ahead, check out the Discord or check out what we offer. We have a pretty robust community of people just keeping Eternal Legacy alive. And as you can see, we're a very diverse Discord. A lot of players here know the meta and own the top tier Delver, Jeskai piles of stuff, but everybody chose to play different decks.
Which I love.
So Oh, it's one of those things that the meta is awesome and diverse, and we have fun events. So come hang out and play the event and play on the Discord.
Yeah.
So
So it looks like there was nothing going on there. Cutie Mark Mason, thank you very much for the follow as well. Looks like Og doesn't really have much going on. That Canonus is just kind of there, and it looks like he was
that
just holding his
Canonus
hand for a
stopped
minute, just like,
everything. I think
what
if
do I
it
do?
wasn't for that Canonus, I think Og had a top three had a turn 3 kill.
Yep,
Because
probably.
if you let Ruby Storm untap with a medallion, it's game over.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Kept the
Uh,
fields in too.
so
Interesting.
here's something that I don't know a lot of legacy players do who anymore, and something that like was taught to me a long time ago. Do you ever cut lands from your deck anymore? Do you ever cut lands from your deck?
Almost never unless I'm replacing them with mana sources, but it'll depend on what deck I'm playing.
So like I've cut wastelands in my deck before.
Yeah. I
Uh,
usually only cut mana sources unless I have over 25.
yeah, I've cut like lands that are just like not exactly like the thing that you want to do. Like I'll do that.
Yeah.
Uh, what is happening with the Metamorphose?
We'll find out here.
Hold on. Was that Metamorphose
Oh, he's
cast?
cast. Wait, hold on. He's got to pay an extra 3.
Yeah, I think it's an extra.
Oh, what happened there to the feed?
Uh,
Well, we'll figure this part out here shortly. There looks like something happened there, but was he
and a
trying to cast the
turn.
Metamorphose and a turn through his own defense grid?
No. Kitty Markson, thank you for the subscription and really appreciate it.
Okay, so it looks like we managed to. Oh no, he tried to cast it, didn't work. Put the card back in his
Realize.
hand, but it's known information now. So
Yeah. Kept it open, and then now we are casting an ignite the future, which finds the other two ignite the futures and a mountain.
yeah.
Oh, that's harsh because those ignite the futures.
Oh no, a Shatter
are-
Skull smashing.
Oh, it's a Shadow Skull smashing.
Yeah,
Okay, so that Shadow Skull smashing is actually important because that Shadow Skull smashing is one of the ways in which he can kill the Aetherstorm Canonus.
yeah. Oh, oh wow. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So
Ooh,
on HG's next turn, you can go mountain. Yeah, mountain. Aetherstorm Canonus is a 2/2 though.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that you could possibly do it with just the one mana you get off of Ruby Medallion, but you
Oh,
can't.
no, you can't
Yeah.
wipe both of them.
Yeah.
But the Canonist has to die.
Yeah, the Candace has to die, and then you can just go from there.
Yeah, maybe Dalibor will play like
If it,
a Dryad Arbor or something. You never know.
oh yeah. That is true. There is the Sajiri step in the board in the deck.
Hmm. Could be. We'll see if that is relevant. Oh, grabs Wasteland. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
Wasteland's
Okay, well,
harsh.
this is rough because Og's gonna need another mana source, which I think
Ooh.
will need to be exactly Lotus Petal if he wants to kill this thing next turn. Unless the Wasteland doesn't get fired off the Ancient Tomb here. But because if we get the Wasteland on the Ancient Tomb, that puts him down 1 mana, so we can only Shatter Skull for 1, which isn't enough to kill either creature. Yeah,
Oh
Wasteland the
yeah,
Ancient
yeah,
Tomb.
Wasteland. Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, and play Saga for turn 2. Gross. Smash
Okay.
for 2.
So this is the thing when it comes to like sagas nowadays. Sagas it just like it just generates that inevitability and it's just like it's such a good threat without having to overcommit yourself already. So I think that this saga might be able to wrap this up because of the fact that it's going to find Pithing Needle after this.
Yeah, and of note
Oh wait,
as well.
no, not Pithing Needle. It's gonna fix the mana for the Mox Diamond, or you could just find Shadow Spear for the actual clock.
Yeah, and of note here too, Dalibor needs to be very careful not to tap out here unless he's deploying a second Canonist. If he's deploying a second Canonist, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, because if he is not able to activate this Elvish Reclaimer, the crop rotation will cost too much mana, so he needs to keep the Reclaimer open. Oh, so he's crop rotting on his own turn. Interesting.
Yeah, crop rot. What are we finding?
I'd imagine you'd actually grab Thespian Stage here, to be totally honest.
I was kind of like, yeah, but oh,
Oh,
okay.
I actually like that a lot because that gives you mana ramp. So he's definitely planning on Sajiri stepping now. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Okay, I like that.
And again, the other thing too is that he absolutely needs exactly Lotus Petal this turn. Og does.
Yeah, the Lotus Petal, well, because of the fact that that will give the mana in order to slam the Shadow Soul Smashing.
Yeah, because you need to be able to hit it for 2. Yeah, plays the mountain. LED. Okay.
Ooh,
Interesting.
LED's
That's
also
pretty
good. Only
cool.
card in hand is Metamorphose. Oh yeah, you slamming that.
He's got a couple more, I think, because he had 5
Oh,
at the start
okay.
of the turn. But the thing that's of note here is that Shadow Skull Smashing is actually in exile, meaning that Og can actually use the LED to pay for that,
Yeah.
which will give you the mana in order to kill both the Reclaimer and the Canonist.
Uh, but the Sajiri steps exist.
They do, but what do? You either just don't do it and then leave it in the back pocket, or you just start beating to death, or you
Well, it
make them
depends
have
on
it.
your hand. It depends on
True.
how much you're willing to commit to it.
Oh, discards
Oh,
5 cards.
that hand was that was a turn 3 kill. That was a
Oh
turn
my
3 kill.
god.
That was a turn 3 kill lined up, but the Aethersworn Canonist finished it off.
Yep.
Oh, to be fair though,
Oof.
to be fair, she does have like passive flames in the deck and can do stuff like that, but
Oh, actually, no. The Elvish Reclaimer's already 4 toughness. Ugh. I think
so
you just aim everything at the Canonist and just make him have it. Like, there's
yeah,
nothing else you can do.
yeah, I think you
Because
gotta.
you lose the Shatter Skull smashing after this turn anyway. Ugh. Yeah, Shatter Skull smashing for 6. Oh, you can actually hit Reclaimer with it because of the Ruby Medallion.
Yes. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Ugh, that feels bad.
Having the lands in graveyard though, making the
Look at that
Reclaimer a
hand.
3/4 right now is brutal.
If Dalibor literally did it, the one card needed was literally Aethersworn Canvas. If it was Gaddock, it would still been fine because of the fact that Wish costs 3 mana.
Yeah.
And all the Metamorphose act as rituals with the Ruby Medallion. But because
Yeah.
of the fact that it was literally Aethersworn Canonist, oh, that feels bad. And also, I'm realizing I need an Aethersworn Canonist on my board now.
Yep. Other thing too
Ugh.
here is that the other thing as well is that Og's hand is now empty, which you really wish you had a Reforge the Soul now. Yeah, sacrifice the flagstones. Oh, he's targeting all the damage at the Reclaimer. Interesting. And then I imagine this is Sajiri step.
$8 for an Aethersworn Canonist. I think I'm gonna pick up some. It's a really good
Yeah.
sideboard card right now.
And Sajiri step in, and that's gonna protect it, and Og's gonna scoop it up.
Oh,
Bummer.
boom.
Man, Dalibor winning on a Malta 4 game 1 and then managing to just cement it with the turn 2 Canonist in game 2. Ow.
Yeah, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It's one of those things. The deck was right there, and it being one turn too slow, giving Dalibor that chance is what really gave it. And it's unfortunate we didn't get to see the explosiveness in game two, but seeing that turn two just create 10 gobos right there was pretty impressive from this deck.
Yes. It's just absolutely nuts as well that you had a turn 2, make 10 Goblin tokens, and you're able to get through that on a Malta 4 as well. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, it was very well played on both sides. So That brings us to, unfortunately, HG is eliminated from the tournament. Dalibor advances to the lower bracket semifinals to face off against whoever is winning versus Care versus Malfi, which coming into this, I do believe they are still playing. Yeah, Care versus Malfi is still happening. So we might be switching over to them right now. And
Yeah,
then
looks like we will be.
and then, of course, Rax waiting in the in the wait for whoever is going to be facing off in the finals for the lower bracket to go and fight Tensai, who once again just doing it,
Undefeated in the top bracket.
just doing it, undefeated into the final bracket. Had time I have to go like take a shower, make a hot meal, enjoy some time because honestly, just hype plays all around. So, watching this coming in, and though with Care versus Malfi. So, once again, we talked about this deck. Care's deck is the Care pile, as I like to call it,
Yeah.
which
Also, just
very
before I forget, well
okay.
played by HG getting all this way. So excellently well done.
Improved result from last time. I think last
Yes.
time HG went out after two. Oh, this time finished actually a lot higher. So great to see, and good job of HG. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, exactly. Better luck next time as well, and congrats on making it two deep in the lower bracket as well, or three deep, whichever
Yeah.
that is. So, but yeah, it looks
So
like we are in the middle of game two right now. Uh, Malfi is down a game. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kara's up a game right now, and we're in the middle of game two.
all right. So understandable that Kara was able to take game one with the fact that the value engine in combination with the direct damage is what I'm guessing is going to be the advantage here. Lands has really no answer for direct damage when it came to the Valika triggers, except for like looping wastelands. If you don't get that going fast enough, it's definitely understandable how Kara is able to be the faster low style of that land style of deck. But do we have a what do we have here? Looks like Melfi has some loams in the bin, in addition to maybe made a servo at some point. Do we have a foundry on the board?
Retrofitter Foundry.
Yeah. Let's see if this is oh no, it's a construct token. Construct
Oh,
token.
gotcha.
And then it looks like we have the flipped what's it called again? Outland Liberator. Which looks to have possibly blown up an Urza Saga with an attack.
Hmm. This is an interesting game state right now. There we go, bumping the Dryad Arbor up. Just making sure
Yep.
that everybody's doing that today. So that is per MTR. They're making sure that the Dryad Arbor is not accidentally hidden as a creature. I know some people have gone out of their way there to make sure that their opponent knows that the Dryad Arbor needs to be there, but we're just going to make sure that everyone is there. I know some people have done that, but it's always nice to have it up with the creatures. So,
Attacking, targeting Urza Saga. Okay. Blowing up. And also the Endurance is attacking in addition to the Outland Liberator.
yeah.
Okay. So that's what's happening. Okay. Construct is blowing up the Saga. The unfortunately the construct is a 1/1, so no other profitable blocks there because the flipped Outland Liberator is a 3/3.
Yeah. So we are making a Merit Lage.
And importantly, it is night, I believe. Nighttime.
Yeah, I believe so. So Malfi's making a 2020 mid combat in response to the endurance attacking. This is huge.
Apparently there's also a 2020 on board that I didn't even see.
He made it right now. So he's making it right now. I imagine this is gonna block the endurance.
I mean,
Hmm. Of note though, the Knight of the Reliquary being online is a bit of a problem because you'll just be able to go and oh, is that a solitude? Oh.
Is that a solitude? I don't think.
Oh, cycles astral drift to blink the Merit Lage.
Oh, that's what it is.
Wow.
I was like, "What is it?" Oh, yeah, it's the one card that none of us know or understand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
blinked it
amazing. Yeah,
out.
I keep forgetting that astral drift does stuff when you cycle it. That's nuts.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's an answer to 2020.
Wow. Crisp.
Okay. Uh,
Okay,
that
so
was
things are
good.
now wildly in Kare's favor.
Yeah, 2 lands on the board and a Mox Diamond. Yeah, this this is tight. Oh, okay, it looks like we're going to blocks now because
Yep.
that was all before that, and then, yeah, having to block the endurance.
Yep. Tensai, you're still with us. Yeah, and an exploration. Dredges. Oh, hits Glacial Chasm. Okay.
Oh, and this is a deck that can actually, like, leverage Glacial Chasm.
With the
Unlike Care
exploration out is huge.
Yeah, unlike Kara's deck that can only do, like 1 to 2, 1 and maybe 2 recycles of exploration of Glacial Chasm.
Oh, is this what he's. Oh, are we going to see
Oh,
a
there's gonna be
bog?
a Bojuka Bog. Oh, we didn't
Are we
realize that
going
there
to
was an
see a
active,
bog?
knight there.
Oh, there is a Bajuka bog.
I didn't realize the knight was
Oh.
active.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
is
so
that
he gets a bog and
GG's?
Malfi just scoops it up.
Is that is
Wow.
who got game 1?
Care did. So Care just beat Malfi 2-0.
Oh, Malfi's out?
Yeah, so of note, this is going to be the first time that we haven't had a round one loss run it back all the way to the finals.
Oh, wow. Wow, Care taking it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means
I've
that
been
coming
so
in
impressed by Care's deck. Oh my goodness.
so that means Care coming in versus Dalibor in this next one.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're gonna give the players a couple of minute break, and such like that, but, like, Care coming in versus Dalibor, that's gonna be a tight matchup because that's gonna be the basically Depths versus Care deck.
Yeah.
Uh And the basically another battle of reclaimers.
Yeah.
There's okay, let's bring this up, because but anyways, we'll get this next match, this next round set up in just a little bit. We're gonna take a short break, everybody. Uh, come hang out with us in just a second, and we'll be right back with the next round.
See you later.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here for the lower bracket semifinals featuring Dalibor versus Care, Abzan Reclaimer versus Four Color Flash Mob, and I'm joined here with my friend Prez BOTW. Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing great. This is invitational. I have absolutely nothing to complain about. All the matchups that we've seen today have been absolutely incredible.
We've had some very good and very close matchups. The matchups have could not have predicted each and every way. The fact that who's dropped off when they have is just been kind of wild to me. But it's good to see that we are coming in here with our final four players. Tensai is waiting in the wings, watching patiently, getting ready for each matchup. But this is gonna be a fun one. I'm excited for this one. This is gonna be interesting, mostly because of the fact that we do have here another matchup of Elvish Reclaimers, but one has a combo while the other one doesn't. Which one do you
Yeah.
give the favor towards, the combo or the one that doesn't?
So the thing is that I think Dalibor is well positioned here, given the fact that he can pivot to a combo strategy when he needs to, and his deck grinds like crazy. But at the same time, I have been absolutely blown away by Care's deck's ability to just switch. Like just everything it's doing, just stop, completely switch off whatever else, being able to find the Caracas, like, and that's just it, is the merit lage
Yep.
aspect I don't think isn't going to matter in this particular deck because of Slowgurk and the recurability of all of the lands. Plus, as we saw just last round against Malfi, he just cycled an Astral Drift and killed Merit Lage.
Yeah, but the thing is, we also seen the fail rate of Kara's deck. We've seen it fall apart a little bit, and the deck does not have any selection, and if 1 to 2 removal spells, which to be fair, when we're looking at this matchup, Dalibor is a interactive deck. We have 4 Swords of Plowshares and 3 Abrupt Decay. If half of those connect. We're gonna
Yeah.
watch Kara's deck fall apart like we did before. Kara's deck is a deck that relies on permanent and board-based control. Oh, so I really do think that interactive side that Dalivor has is actually what's gonna make the matchup.
I think that's a very reasonable point of view on that. Absolutely. I do think though that in the event that Care has a nutso turn and is able to make a Valakut line pan out, I think he could very easily overtake the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tight battle either way, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. I always like looking at the important cards here, like, okay, hey, Dalbor has or the Saga package. Well, there are some answers here with the Astral Drift being able to get rid of the construct tokens. The Valakut is something on Care's side that's a land piece of interaction that Dalwar doesn't have. So it's like it's it's either or wishy-washy back and forth. Which one has the advantage? Both of these decks are going to be very 50-50 being both Reclaimer decks.
Yeah.
So
I think this is definitely going to be an interesting one for sure. Again, both players could very easily win, but we'll have to see what's going on here. So,
yeah,
looks like the
who's
players are
on the play
shuffling
for this
up.
one?
So again, this is lower bracket, so they're supposed to decide via die roll. In the event that they forgot, Care is technically the number one seed, Dalibor being number three. If we were playing seeding down here, then Care would be taking the play by default, unless we're on Manaless Dredge, or if you're just feeling generous.
Yep. I think. Yeah, I think we'll have an answer here in a second.
Yeah.
But of course, both of these players and the overall meta here for the Invitational has been very non-blue. Uh
Yes. It's been very
not,
interesting to watch.
yeah, it's really weird to like I mean, this is kind of like the four color loam player's wet dream of a meta.
Yeah, you're
Like
not wrong.
this is what every four color loam player just like dreams about playing against. It's just like basically four color loam mirror matches as over and over and just like jockeying for position in these mid range piles. It's really weird to see. I've never seen an invitational meta like this. They usually steer very blue. Not really combo heavy, more Seek and Show is always represented, and maybe one to two other decks besides that. But it's just been a lot of like mid range in the past.
Yeah.
Like,
And that being said, one of our premiered blue decks, i.e., Sneak and Show, is still live. Rax is waiting to fight the winner of this matchup.
yeah, that is an important factor. Like Racks, they have so many hours on Sneak and Show, and each one of these decks are non-blue decks that are going in against Racks in the say lower bracket finals. So because of that, it's it's gonna be hard to say because the reason why Tensai was so I've said this before, if you're able to leverage discard versus Seek and Show, you can effectively run it over. You can beat
Yeah.
it up. It's an
Yeah,
A plus B
absolutely.
combo. You keep A or B away from it long enough, you can beat it up.
Hmm.
Um, eh, when it comes to Seek and Show versus any other fair mid range decks, like Seek and Show just kind of eats those decks alive.
Yeah, it really does, and that's just it. Not a knock against the deck. People have asked what I think one of the best intro decks to Legacy is, and I honestly think it's Sneak and Show. Like, there's a lot of nuance to the deck for sure, but it has the cantrips, it has the Force of Will, so you get to learn the dynamic of how those cards work within the Legacy metagame, while just having this brutally powerful, straightforward combo kill in the background that's incredibly forgiving. Because there's a lot of times where you're like, oh, I brainstormed wrong or I forced the will wrong. Well, I guess I'll just jam the sneak attack and kill you anyway. Like, it's a very forgiving deck and it's very nice to learn on.
Yeah, I will agree. I will definitely agree. I have a lot of respect for the deck. I mean, and most people who've been around the Discord for a while have heard the stories of me getting beat up by Sneak and Show, my local meta. So like, I respect the deck, but I fully agree with you. It is a deck that the most amount of skill is learning how to cast Show and Tell.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like again, it's not a knock against the deck. The deck is very powerful and it's incredibly good if you're a good pilot with it. However, I do think that the inherent difficulty of the deck is lower than a lot of people who play the deck would like you to think it is, but at the same
oh,
time, the deck is still extremely good and there is a ton of skill behind it, especially when you get there. But just the ability to learn, the deck is so forgiving you can afford to make mistakes with it.
yeah, I will agree. Ape's just
Yeah.
gonna ape. Like apes be good.
Yeah.
But
We get a
looking at this
very
start,
fast start from Dalibor.
that's about exactly what I was about to say. Oh, Kara's deck is not a Mox Diamond deck. It looks like it should be a Mox Diamond deck, but it's not. It's a Dork deck.
Yeah.
So because of that, it is when we're looking at this as matchup, the fact that Dalibor had turn one no, 2 mana in addition to, an elf, like, that's just a massive advantage, and we're already starting to see it snowball here. We can activate one of the lands already, and one of them that needs to be activated is what's it called? The freaking
Flagstones,
Flagstones, thank you.
which is gross because Flagstones is actually net positive mana. So that's just it too. Is that this is also going to actually put extra lands on the battlefield when Dalibor activates this on end step. Plus, that means only one more land in the graveyard will make both of these elves 3/4s, which is an incredibly fast clock. Oh, Bajuka Bog.
Lols.
This is a. I would imagine this is a really bad hand for Care.
Yeah, yeah, Care, kept on 6 or 5?
Both kept 7
Both kept
actually.
7. Care,
Interesting.
okay.
Either that or Karis just trying to get these slow tap lands out of the way first, which I could see. On the bright side, too, that Vesuva does actually tap for green or white because I believe it's copying a Savannah. So,
Yeah. Um,
basic forest.
so Rax, that's really funny because I've tried to learn
Oh, basic
Sneak and Show,
plains.
and yeah, like I just enjoy playing bad decks too much. It's like, ooh, this deck wins. Ugh, I'm not gonna play that.
So, this is the pivotal mana ramp for those who have never seen a reclaimer deck go is the flagstone reclaimer decks. You sack the flagstones. You go and grab a plains off of the flagstones trigger, and then you grab another flagstones with the thing you sacrifice the flagstones to, and then this allows you to net positive mana.
It's value.
Yes. Oh, the Vesuva's on flagstones of Trocaire, is it? Yeah, it is Vesuva copying
Yeah.
flagstones of Trocaire. Okay,
Ew.
interesting. So that doesn't produce the colors that Care wants. However, I believe when it dies, you'll still get the planes trigger on it.
Okay. Dalbor just going for the kill.
Pass.
So we've seen this before with players. There's Champagne did this with Green White Reclaimer. If you have double Reclaimer on end step, you can create you can get all the tools for Merit Lage
Right away.
and right away.
Yeah.
Just
So I think what's going to happen here is he's actually going to go get another flagstones here and then sack that flagstones to the other reclaimer. Planes off
no
the
way.
trigger. And then let's see if that's what's going to happen here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he's going to go grab the other land if he's trying to assemble the combo
No,
right
I'm
here.
saying Thespian stage Dark Depths. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, we'll see when he grabs his land here. It's
You just
deep in the
sacrifice the
tank.
other land. You could
Deep
just
in the
activate the
tank.
other one.
Grabs
Oh, yep. He
flagstones.
grabs flagstones. Going for the
Yeah.
full value chain.
Unless he has one of the pieces in hand.
Ew.
Yeah. Also, both of these elves are also 3/4s now, which is gross.
Bang.
This is so much mana. This is turn
This is so much
3.
value.
Yeah, this is going to be untap into turn 4. So we'll see if this gets a stage or a dark depths. Oh. Looks like he changed his mind. Yeah, Oliver, I agree. Elvish Reclaimers are nuts.
Oliver, calm down over there.
As yeah, sacking lands for mana all day. Yeah, I am a
Oliver's all
huge
flushed over
proponent
there,
of
just whew.
I am a huge proponent of Applejacks. I love sacrificing my own lands to do stuff, especially when I have a Titania out and I wasteland my own lands. Feels so good.
Yep,
And
goes a
Thespian
fine
Stage. So we
stage.
probably have a Dark Depths in hand. Either that or this is just going to
I
be
mean, you can just
untap
find a Dark
and
Depths.
then just find it on end step, which could be what happens here. So we'll find
Yeah,
out. But Care getting
care
3 tap lands in a row is rough.
care. Don't know why I kept the hand, but I mean, unless an amulet vigor was involved, like you got an amulet vigor in your hand, like this doesn't seem that bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is just nonstop value. Okay, so can we get so no matter what, there if you do nothing else, you just get Merit Lage on your next turn. Like we know we have mana for that,
Yeah.
but I think it's more just like, do you have the piece of interaction for what is going to happen? Because Hair has the only piece of interaction that's going to matter is going to be Astral Drift.
True.
So having the one mana to having the mana to also Sajiri's step on the same turn, I think is going to be important.
So
But
interestingly, if he cycles the Astral Drift, does that count as being targeted by a white spell?
yes,
Oh, white spell or ability. Yeah, that's true. It would be a white ability. Never mind. We're good. Just
yeah,
wasn't sure because I know that it's like Blood Rush and whatever else. The discard can't be countered, whatever else, stuff like that. But yeah, I guess in this case, it's still a white ability you're targeting with.
yeah. It's gonna be close no matter what because of the fact that oh wait, do we have white? Yeah, okay, we do have white mana because the Vesuvas copy the flagstones.
Yeah. Of note though, Dalibor deep in the tank here. Oh, we're tapping the. Oh no, he changed his mind. He's not tapping the thespian stage.
Okay, so
Night of the Reliquary. So interestingly enough, this means we are not getting an instep Merit Lage here unless he just has Dark Depths in hand.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I wanted to do that.
Ooh.
Okay,
Okay.
if I'm
We
just playing
going
this,
wide. We
if I'm
going
playing
wide.
this, I'm beating down with 3/4s.
Yes. Yeah, no, in this case, I actually like this plan, and I don't mind the leaving back the Merit Lage because now you're just going wide and you don't
Yeah,
get blown out by an Astral
there's just
Drift.
the threat of it at all points. It's just like, yeah, nah, these are the 3/4s I'm gonna beat your face into
Yeah,
now.
there
Does he
is
have
14
does he have
power on board.
lethal?
This is 14 power,
Okay,
so
14.
he's 3 damage shy. But he's also
Uh,
got 2 Reclaimers and an
there's gonna be
unlocked
hold on, there's
Knight
gonna be
next turn
another no, that knight can get up to lethal range if rotate out a land.
to Wasteland.
You reclaim out a land, find a fetch land, fetch it out.
I'd get a Wasteland and then just nuke myself.
Oh yeah, the wasteland is 100% the way to go.
Dryad. Okay,
Oh,
so we have a 2/4, meaning we have
well,
a
Care put
blocker.
a spell on the stack.
Caracas, yeah. So we definitely are not on the Merit Lage plan anymore.
Yeah, you don't care anymore. You got 3/4s.
Yeah.
You
And a
got three
Cradle.
fours.
Okay. Whole lot of good that does right now, which is a bit unfortunate, but man, this has been a really slow start from Care.
Yeah, like each one of those lands was like things that you don't want to play ever on curve.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate. And I'm not sure when that well, the Cradle doesn't do anything, and I understand not wanting to expose the Caracas to a wasteland too early. But I think at this point you just don't care anymore.
Yeah, no. Yep.
Tapping Cradle for 1. Okay, so we're gonna Green Sun for a
Green Sun
Dryad
for
Arbor here.
0 for a Dryad Arbor. This is just a chump blocker.
Yeah.
Care realizing that yeah, there's gonna be some serious damage coming in soon.
Yeah. There we go. And then this is also going to mean, though, that in the event that for whatever reason he's still alive, the Cradle will tap for 2. Probably not going to be relevant, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, like I mean, Dalmor still has 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Like, and
Actually, one thing that could be relevant, though, is the fact that with this many lands in play, and also with this, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, able to bounce, or not bounce, but brickwall one of the Elvish Reclaimers without dying, Valakut could be a live draw, depending on what's in hand.
I mean, kind of, but each one of these creatures on the board represents a wasteland.
That's true. It looks like we are activating Elvish Reclaimer end of turn.
I think finding the wasteland is the play here. Because then after that, you can just like YOLO. You just like keep on just slamming the wasteland into it, even with like some other plays.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the one up ramming up excavator in this. So I do want to say, like, when we look at the list, as the difference between the two piles is that there's so much extra stuff in Care's deck, but none of it is removal. And while
Yeah.
in Dalavor's deck, we have like a very tight package, but we have like removal.
Yeah.
So oh,
Grabs a wasteland. I like that a lot.
yeah, I like that play. You talked me into that play, and
Yeah.
it's good.
Just if they don't block the knight, you just do so much damage and you don't even care. Like you have so many lands at this point, you don't even really need them anymore.
Yeah, you're just turning stuff sideways at this point.
Yeah. This is a damage race now.
And
Like you're not trying to be fancy, you're
literally
trying to kill
everything off the
someone.
top of your deck is just a live draw. Like even Abrupt Decay is so live here.
Yeah. Oh, fires off the wasteland right away. Oh, hitting the arbor?
Yep. No, hold on. There's no Yavimaya on the
Oh,
board. There's no
yeah,
Yavimaya on
no,
the
there
board.
is no Yavimaya in play.
Uh,
We will stop here right away.
Judge. Excuse us. That Karakas does not tap for.
Oh, Dryad, Dryad.
No, the Dryad came onto the board last turn.
Yeah,
It
but
can't tap for
Dryad makes
mana.
all of his lands forests.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So the Dryad, the Dryad does do it. I mean, Kara's gonna have to go for the Glacial Chasm.
I would imagine so. Given that the wasteland's gone, that's not bad. It'll only buy you a turn. Just because that you'll be able to just find another wasteland again.
I mean, Dalibor literally can just. Oh
Goes and
no,
gets
fine.
fetch land.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
it needs to fix for colors. None of these tap. Oh well, I guess they do tap because of the what's it called, the Dryad Arbor. So
Yeah. Hmm.
the Abrupt Decay, the
Oh,
Dryad.
abrupt decay on the. Oh no, this clears out the blocker.
Lol, 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 lol.
Oh, abrupt
Do we
decay on the
have?
Dryad. I don't know what else you would do unless you have another crop rot in hand.
There's a Sajiri step in the deck, so like,
Huh. Well, even then, that's what I mean. You'd need another crop rot, right? Because that you can't fetch Sajiri Step with the Misty Rainforest.
yep.
Yeah. Tapping it for a colored mana.
Damn,
Crop
second
Rot
crop
again.
rotation.
Sacks the flagstones of Trocaire. Okay.
Wow.
Interesting. Having the double Crop Rot to protect twice. Interesting. So we're going to get
Oh,
Scattered
what?
Groves. I like this. So this is a cycler that comes in tapped anyway. So he's grabbing this off of the Flagstones of Trocaire. And then he's going to go get the Sajiri Step here as
Oh,
the
okay,
crop
okay,
rotation
okay, yeah, yeah.
target. Yeah. Yeah, Sajiri Step protecting it. So this is going to
Yep,
keep the Dryad around.
yep, yep,
Well
yep, yep, yep.
played. Very well played.
Lots of crop rotations in
Yeah.
hand.
Scattered Groves also showing, I am also a big fan of in these like Mox Diamond style loam decks or just these return your lands cards. I actually really like the dual type Amonkhet lands that have
Hmm.
cycling on them. Even though they come
Yeah.
in tapped, like in this case with Flagstones, they come in tapped anyway. You may as well just grab it. And later on, in this case, with it being an Astral Drift, it's nuts. Or sometimes you can just use it to protect life from the loam because you can just cycle it to go dredge if they're gonna try and surgical it or something.
Lols. Just
Oh my
SDP.
god, that's amazing. So because dry, like whatever color he gave the source of plowshares wasn't whatever color was named.
Lols. Okay.
Wow,
And then yeah, Script Ranger,
Scrib
whatever.
Ranger as well. Oh, that's
So
disgusting.
swinging 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
One, two,
Oh,
three,
not
four,
swinging.
five.
No,
So we got 5 lands in the graveyard. So Knight's a 7/7 plus 9 is
I think
16.
16.
So he might actually tap the knight here to sack a land, go get a fetch land. Yeah, and then return a forest to hand to untap the knight, and then do that to try and get the extra damage needed. I still think it's going to put
Oh,
Care at 1, but
oh, this is brutal.
this is interesting too because this means that if Care had actually cracked that fetch land, that would have killed him.
Yeah, yeah, that would have killed him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like we
And
were
yeah,
talking
that's
about
actually a good point. Having the multiple crop rotations, yeah, that might have actually been why he kept the hand. And I think if Dalibor had gone on the Merit Lage plan, I actually think that, yeah, this hand would have worked out much better for Care.
this is insane. The fact that like literally the entire uh, Dalibor saw what was happening and then picked up on it and went straight for the mid range plan of just like, I have a board of 3/4s. Why do I have to merit lage you? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
merit lage your face.
Grabs the Dryad Arbor. Okay.
I don't need a Marrow Laser Face. I'm just gonna like beat you down with my board of 3/4s. Like, this is the power of these green white depths lists.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're
I
playing
think
it.
this is also exactly showing the reason why green white is now the like in demand version of the depths deck over green black.
9 plus 9 is 18.
Puts
Carries down
care
to
to
1.
1.
Ugh. And of course, no blue mana because the Dryad was
That's disgusting too, because Care hadn't played a land yet. He was able to redeploy the land he returned with Scribranger for the
yeah,
turn. Knight of the Reliquary. I don't think this is going to be enough.
not gonna matter.
No.
Yeah, there's been a Knight of the Reliquary that's been on the board for like 2 turns. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is just brutal.
Hmm.
This is a world. This
I
is an
don't.
example of a game that would exist if Ragavan didn't exist. This is a world. This is what it would look like. A whole new meta.
There we go. Yeah, no, it's super interesting, but like this also just goes to show what these land-based, Elvish
They've gotten
Reclaimer,
within the
Knight of the
last couple of
Reliquary decks
years.
are capable of. Like, oh my goodness. Cycling Astral Drift. What is this gonna blink? I think he's just looking for a card. Then I imagine if he doesn't find anything, he'll probably crack that fetch land. Yeah, that is a good point, Oliver. This is also existing in a world of Ragavan. I have seen Dalibor and Care play both of these decks against Ragavans. It's good. I actually would be interested to see what a blue-red Delver deck, how it would have done in this tournament, because a lot of these decks are tuned to just crush that deck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Deep in the tank here,
Oh, just gonna he's gonna flicker out
the
the
knight,
knight,
and then
and
concede.
then yep, and then concede. Yep, Dalibor taking it 1-0.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to see how this goes here up for game number 2. So this is going to be interesting, I
Give
think.
me 1 second.
So,
I need to check the oven because I was given specific instructions in that. So
yeah,
I'll be
you
right
do
back.
that. I'll go over sideboards here. So, in here, we have Care's sideboard on screen right now. We have 2 copies of Containment Priest, 2 Nimble Obstructionist, which is sweet. 3 copies of Endurance. We have another copy of Wasteland. We have 4 Mindbreak Traps, 2 Force of Vigor, and also the Outland Liberator, which has been proving to be very good all day. Um, Given this one particular matchup, these are both Green Sun Zenith decks, and they're both trying to play this land game pretty well.
Yeah.
There's actually not too much I think that we would need um in a lot of cases here. Like maybe you could get the Nimble Obstructionist, but even then I just think maybe the Endurances are all that you bring in here just because that they can hit your opponent's graveyard and shrink all your creatures.
I'm trying to think if
Maybe bring in the other Wasteland just in case.
I mean you could hit your opponent's Urza Saga with Force of Vigor, but yeah, other than that, yeah,
Yeah, but
I'm
I wouldn't board in multiple Force of Vigors for exactly one copy of Urza Saga. So
I like the 3 endurance and the 1 wasteland. I think
yeah,
that's all I'm burying in.
yeah, I like that too.
Uh, Looking at Dalibor's board though, we kind of have some bring-ins. We got the collector oof. We got 3 Eastern Candidates, 1 Outland Liberator, 2 choke, 2 endurance, 1 Kaya, 3 plague engineers, and 2 force of vigors. What are you looking at here?
Um, ugh. You know, I honestly just think I bring in the Endurances.
No consideration for
Maybe
Kaya?
I could see Kaya because Kaya is able to just hit an Elvish Reclaimer. I think that's probably reasonable. I don't really know what else we would do. Choke is useless here. Collector Oof, there's not enough artifacts. Like there's actually, I don't think any artifacts really in Kare's deck at all. Canonist, I don't think is good because you don't care about what cards you're getting anyway. Yeah, I think I just bring in the two endurances and the one Kaya, honestly.
I am in agreement. I'm doing the island count. We got
One tropical.
one tropical island.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not bringing a choke for that.
hold on. There is a reason to bring in the choke.
Oh,
Dry
Dryad
Elysian
of the
Grove
Elysian Grove.
makes them
Ooh.
all islands.
Ooh. Sneaky.
Yeah,
That being
that
said though, with only
that's a
one
gotcha
Dryad,
moment.
I don't know if it's worth it.
But the Dryad's an important part of the plan.
That is true. Yep,
Dryad's like a
that
serious
is
win
true.
condition in the deck. That's something like where your opponent might go turn 4, tap out to Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad, and you on your turn slam a choke and laugh at your opponent.
Yeah, possibly.
So I
But
I,
the
I
question
think
is,
chokes a bring in here. I think chokes a bring in.
yeah, I can see that. So the question is what do you cut? Because a lot of the removal here is actually really good.
Oh yeah, but you got stuff that like doesn't matter. Like Soul Guide Lantern doesn't matter. Script
Well, if you're bringing,
Ranger.
if why wouldn't you leave the Soul Guide Lantern in if you're bringing in endurances?
Yeah, exactly. So like Soul Guide Lantern, you can cut Script Ranger. I would even say you can cut the Sylvan Safekeeper because of the fact. Oh, it gives it Shroud. It gives it Shroud, so that's something.
Yeah,
Uh oh, that's the oven. Give me 1 second.
yeah. Um, yeah, I still think that could be fine. Yeah, I don't know. I still think that I'd rather keep the Soul Guide Lantern in just because that it's incredible about how important the Reclaimers are and getting big Reclaimers early is in this matchup. However, though, I do think that having the reliance on the Flagstones of Trocare, you're incentivized to make them bigger much faster in Dalabor's deck. So maybe in Kair's case you don't worry. Actually, yeah, maybe you do cut the Soul Guide Lantern then. Hmm. It makes Urza Saga really bad though, so maybe you just cut the whole Saga package. That could be interesting. Hmm.
Nah. What you want to keep in the Saga package because you can still find your Pithy Needle there. That name's Caracas, stuff like that. That's
That's true.
important. So like I like that. There are some bring-ins that you can do, uh, but it is going to be a very tight package. Hedge. But Prez, you want to talk about like the Discord and what we do?
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, we are the MTG Paper Legacy Discord. We have just about 2,800 players all over the world, and we play Magic over webcam just like this. And so we have tournaments every weekend on Saturdays for North American times events. We also have events every second Sunday for EU and Asia time events. We also have a Tuesday event, which is a fun, casual 3 round legacy event. It's a lot of fun, no deck list required for that one. And we also have a monthly league on top of a very, very poppin' LFG channel. So you can just, if you're ever in the knack to play Legacy, you can jump on there and play whenever you would like, all times a day. People are always willing to throw down. It's a great place if you want to just come play and talk Legacy.
The LFG channel, oh, we are also 100% fully proxy supported. So the LFG channel is also the one of the best places you can go to test out decks, to see hey what people are playing in different regions, stuff like that. Like honestly, like I had some time last night, couldn't get had some sleep, so I was just like, yeah, I'll hit up the LFG at like midnight my time, and found a game within like a couple of minutes. So it's great.
Yeah, no, it's a really good time there. But yeah, we're back into the action here. Looks like Care's got a faster start already with Fetchland Savannah Noble Hierarchs, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so this is the acceleration that Kair's deck really needed. Dalibor really does need to, if Dalibor has some interaction here and leverages that and just has is able to get rid of, bolt the bird, if you will, that's gonna set Kair back a little bit.
Yeah,
And especially when it comes to like mana fixing in the early stages. Ooh,
yeah.
Zeri step.
Well, he's getting it out of the way now.
Ooh, is that it? Is that
That
just
looks like it's it. Hmm.
you
So
ETB
this
tap lands?
says
That's
to
why I don't play
me,
them.
This says to me that I imagine that there's probably a crop rotation in hand for Care here.
Yeah, crop rotation and maybe some sort of like 3 mana play.
Oh, nothing.
Because
Okay. Didn't even get him for one last turn.
both these players are just waiting to just deploy their crop rotations.
I think that's probably a safe bet. Although having the flagstones out, I like it there. Okay, so
Two
we
mana, what we got?
got all the mana.
Green
Okay, so
Suns
we're gonna
for
go for
one.
one. I imagine this is Elvish Reclaimer.
It's gotta be Elvish Reclaimer.
And what a good card.
Yeah, card be good. I still have yet to play any of mine in a deck.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of them that I haven't put in a deck yet either.
Yeah, no, I haven't played them. I need to try them out. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so in this play here, uh, my question is, why are you holding a green white or this 2 mana? Because specifically, Care played the land and used the tropical island.
Yeah, so we're floating a white here and paying a green. Yeah, so we're gonna crop right away this Flagstone's a Trocaire.
Yep. All right. So what are we
The
grabbing here from?
value. The value.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been seeing this all day. Like Flagstone Metro here is just fucking great. Hey, sacrificing the lands and stuff like that. This is basically just chaotic bears. There's a wet dream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this
Shout out to
is
Bear as well for tournament organizing today, and special thanks as well to all of our table spotters today: Pie Boy, Astrid, Dr. Leo, myself. You know, it's been good fun, and having the table spotters makes a huge difference in terms of how these matches go for commentating.
all right. So, oh, when we're looking at this matchup, how important and at what point are you looking to evoke your endurance? Like, at what point are you looking to 2-for-1 yourself? Oh, because of so important to exile your opponent's graveyard.
The one time I would think of evoking endurance would be when the reclaimers are online and it's a matter of being able to attack or not.
I
That
just wanted to bring that up exactly because
yeah,
is that thought process is exactly what I was thinking about. It's because the reclaimers have been shown to be like such an important part of these strategies.
yeah.
So
Or if there's a
literal,
slogger coming down, that could be another thing too.
yeah, literal like graveyard size matters.
Yeah,
It's basically like going back to like torment days with like threshold and flashback.
yeah. There we go. So we got fetch land here, paying 3. What do we have here? Knight of the Reliquary.
Ooh,
Okay, we going big.
that is bigger than the Elvish Reclaimer.
True. However, though, we have the Elvish Reclaimer unlocked on Care's side, which is faster than Dalibor at least. However, though, the reclaim or the Knight has a potential to go much bigger.
So
Hmm.
what's going to be the mirror breaker between these two? Because as we now have both have manipulation and tutoring for their lands. They
Yeah.
both. Oh wait, no, yeah, there is a Yavimaya on the field, so they can both sacrifice like whatever lands. They
Their
both
own
have this.
Yavimaya.
Uh, can we get some like Kamigawa block and just like blow up your opponent and both of the legends?
Yeah,
Just like,
exactly.
haha, strip
Back
mine
in the
you.
day. I remember back in RTR standard when Geist of Saint Traft was the best removal spell for Geist of Saint Traft.
Yeah. Yep. And so when we're looking at this, they're very much at a mirror moment. Like
Yeah.
technically, a Care has one more mana.
Yeah. So this fetches during upkeep.
Yeah, technically,
Yeah,
Care
Care
has
does
like
have
one.
more mana here, and I'd be worried potentially about what we'd be grabbing here, but hmm. You don't think actually I don't think Care has. Yeah, there is no Dark Depths combo in Care's deck, so we don't have to worry about getting blown up by that
So what we have to worry
pronounced
about
Emperor.
at instant speed are going to be endurance, obviously because we're post board.
Yeah.
Endurance, Scrib Ranger, and any sort of like rotating shenanigans. So that's
Yeah.
like really just it. So it's no, oh, cutie. So the only decays are in Dalavor's deck. So Care doesn't have any pieces of interaction
Yeah.
besides like the endurance
Which is interesting.
and the astral drifts.
Yeah. Cycling Tranquil Thicket. Okay. Draw a card.
It looks like Dalivor just passing here.
Must be, yeah. Plays
Both these
Caracas
players
Pass.
must have crop rotation.
Yeah, I think this is kind of the Mexican standoff type thing where Mexican shootout standoff where it's just like 8 people pointing guns at each other and finding out who's going to pull the trigger first.
The tombstone standoff, stuff like that. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
each of these players are just waiting to see who's gonna blink first.
Yeah. Plays Dryad Arbor for turn. And then cast Knight of the Reliquary. Okay. The fancy dual deck artwork. I personally am not a huge fan of it, but I know a lot of people do like it.
You mean the anime artwork?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I personally am not a huge fan, but I'm also just generally not a foil fan either. I also just like old cards, and to me, Conflux Knight of the Reliquary is the best there will ever be.
I don't think there's. I don't have opinion on this one. Knight of the Reliquary is a card. I own them. I've never sleeved them up or played with them yet. I need to do that at some
Dude,
point.
Knight of the Reliquary decks are life changing. They're so fun. Gets Flagstones of Trocare by sacking a land on end step with Knight of the Reliquary. Gross.
Yep. Well, I mean, with this, you're just setting up your value engine.
Yeah, of
Everything can be
course.
sacrificed with it due to Yavimaya. So what else are we
Also
seeing
of
here on the
note
end
here,
step?
the change in regards to Yavimaya just proving huge value here because it allows Knight of the Reliquary to sacrifice literally any land. I actually really like Enduranceing here. A, because you're casting it and it's a 3/4 that you're keeping, and B, the other thing as well is getting rid of that cycle land is really big.
Yeah. Throwing it to the bottom is important. You force your opponent to have to reclaimer for it if they really want it, as well as the fact that you get your 3/4, which can and come in for damage. I personally would probably been swinging and with my 5/5 knight versus my opponent's not 5/5 knight.
Yeah.
Um, but that I mean that's just me on that.
Hmm, pardon me. So this is an endurance swing in.
Oh, that feels bad. That's a bad Bajuka bog. And it
Oh,
looks like
the
Kara just
Bajuka
took it.
Bog from Dalibor there, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just playing it as a land, and it's also a free sack for Knight of the Reliquary too.
Yeah, it's very much a free sack and replay. There is a rounding up excavator in this build of the deck. Which importantly, I've noticed that the Ramunok excavator slot in Kare's build comes down to Slogurg.
Yeah. So we're
Like,
gonna sacrifice Flagstones of Trocare here. Knight sacks Flagstones. Man, this value engine is nuts.
well, that's what's it's when we look at the whole like pile of like, oh, ooh, but the green white reclaimer based builds having just access to all these like tutors in combination with the flagstones is what makes the engine go burr.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and getting Field of the Dead here is nuts too, because now we're going ultra wide.
Yeah, so we are at end of turn of Care's turn. They just passed the turn.
Yeah, so this is end step for Care, flashing in
Oh,
Scrib Ranger.
and a Scrib
Gross.
Ranger to pop a forest
Oh,
back to hand
this
to
allows you to actually
untap.
re-pick up the Bajuka Bog again if you wanted to as well.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, so Kare's graveyard is kind of locked down from now on. Yeah, because Scrib Ranger. Yep, because of the Yavimaya, you can return it to hand and then just keep on slamming it down. That's kind of
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is that I have been impressed by these Yavimaya decks running Scrib Ranger. It's so good. Pro Blue flying. You know, the other thing too is Scrib
Oh,
Ranger will
okay.
block a Murktide all day.
Okay. Here's what we were talking about with the graveyard access with ramming up excavator.
Yes.
This allowing for constant loops of everything is this is just going to
Yeah. Play a
finish
land, make a
the game.
zombie. Gross.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
there's no board wipe or anything like that for in this matchup. It
Man, this is rough if you're in Kare's spot. Dalbor's deck just all the tools. Yeah, like Kare's definitely not out of this game by any means, but Dalibor is really nailing that coffin shut quickly.
yeah, on your next turn be able to swing with such like a wide board.
Yeah, so we're gonna activate the Reclaimer here to go and grabs the Drownyard Temple. Okay, so yeah, we are in Valakut territory now. Interesting. Okay, so actually a Valakut act like if there's Valakut in hand here, and then we're able to just go off with Knight and Reclaimer.
You
Care
need
could
a
actually
Dryad
clean up
Arbor.
this
You need a
board pretty
Dryad of
quick.
the Legion Grove first
Oh, that's true.
before you can
Yes, you
Valak it.
do. Yeah.
So there are going to be plays involving like a Greenstone Zenith to find it, but it
Hmm.
is going to be one of those things that you do need a lot of pieces in order to do that. But it no matter what, you're going to require the one of Dryad Arbor, which if Dalbor has any piece of interaction with 3 cards in hand, it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only card that was cast from hand this turn was the Reclaimer. All of this stuff has just been recurring stuff from the graveyard or tutored out of the library.
Is the Noble Hierarch. Everything else has been Green to Zenith. Actually, no, the Knight
No,
also
I'm
this
talking
one.
about on Dalabor's last turn.
Oh, on Dalabor's turn. Yeah.
Yeah, Dalabor's last turn was only the only spell that was actually cost was Ramming Up Excavator,
Yeah.
which I mean that just means that Dalibor has 3 pieces of interaction in
Oh,
hand.
interesting. Vesuva copies Field of the Dead. Ooh.
It's not going to be fast enough. It's
It's not
not
gonna
going
be
to be
fast enough, but it's not nothing.
because on this next turn, uh, on end of turn, Dalibor can create 1, 2, 3, 4 zombies.
Yeah, we're gonna see how many zombies get made here.
Yeah, because of the activation of the night plus the fetch, that's 2. Untapping the knight with the script ranger, uh, and then fetching to find another sacrificing to find another fetch land to create 4 zombies on end of turn, in addition to increasing the size of the knight by 2 to 3.
Yeah, this is potentially huge. And of note here too, Dalbor also does need to keep in mind that Care could also just go get a bog himself whenever. Or themselves, sorry.
Yeah, it is gonna be one of those. Yeah, but at the same time, you're just gonna be swinging out with a board of 2/2s that are just massive, and, like, not even a Glacial Chasm can do anything about it.
Yeah. Sacks the waste so gets wasteland off of sacrificing the bog, hits the Vesuva immediately, to which Care will immediately fire back by sacrificing it to Knight of the Reliquary themselves.
What was the Vesuva copying?
It was copying
Oh,
Field of the Dead.
the Field
Gets
Dead, yeah.
Cradle. Ooh. We got some mana.
I mean, yeah, it's not much for it to be activated on, but yeah, it's some solid, mana. Um, I would like to see another fetch on end step as well.
Yeah, plays Containment Priest. Interesting. Huh, so this shuts off Green Sun Zenith for both players. Huh. Still floating green off the cradle. Cycles the Astral Drift as well. Wild. Oh, this is nuts. This is nuts. Wow, so what this will do is that it'll exile it. When it comes back in, the Containment Priest will eat the creature. Oh,
Yeah,
is this going to
so
hit the knight?
this is similar to the Eldrazi Displacer combination with this.
Yeah.
But oh no, we I think we got a crop rotation or a source of plowshares or something. Like there's three cards in the hand. There's got to be some sort of interaction.
I'd imagine so, but of note here as well, Dalibor has no active, unless it's a crop rotation in hand. He doesn't have an active knight or, but actually, I guess he could activate the Scrib Ranger. Yeah, exactly, Rax. I'm so up in the air. This is all over the place. Things are changing so quickly. Huh.
Yep.
Swords to
Okay. We are
plowshares.
seeing a source of plowshares.
Sacrificing the Drownyard Temple now. Oh, these stacks are wild. I love Legacy.
Yeah, there's a lot of actions happening.
Yeah. So I believe Care floated 3 green mana and then cycled the Astral Drift, so there should still be 1 green in pool, which I believe one of
Yeah.
them was paid for it. This is gonna be a
And we're gonna
Vesuva. I'm
find a Vesuva
assuming
copying
step.
Sajiri Step.
Wow. In response, second swords.
And
Wow.
what's the hold on, what's the wording on Astral Drift?
It exiles it and
On the
returns at end
next
of
end
turn.
step,
Yeah.
end of next, the beginning of the next end step.
Yeah.
So Dalibor has a turn to rip because this was all happening on end step.
Was it?
Yeah, that was all happening on end step, and it looks like the it was removed anyways with an extra sellers of plowshares. So like I was saying, there's definitely
Yeah.
removal in hand.
I'm pretty sure that was actually all in response to that bug.
And we are seeing a bog,
Okay, so
and then
passing the turn.
oh no, we're seeing a bog.
Oh,
It
playing
already
the
passed the
bog.
turn. Dalibor is slamming a bog from the
Oh,
graveyard.
to which Kara is now activating Drowned Temple to put it back onto the
Yep,
battlefield.
yep.
Makes sense.
Which I mean, to be
Wow, what a
fair,
wild game this has been.
that's also 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17. That's over 20 power, and your opponent's tapped out. Like, yeah, you just swing out.
Yeah.
Like, all that stuff was really cool, but Care tapped all of the creatures in that
Huh.
moment.
To be fair, I do think though that if you exiled the knight, it might have been worth it long term.
Yeah,
If that had actually panned out.
I guess, yeah, but yeah, that is
That's
it,
brutal.
and
Dalibor's gonna take it down in 2. Oh my
that
goodness.
that is the end of the flash mob the flash mob run. That's wild.
That was
That was
wild.
such a tight match between like the lands and flipping through and everything like that. Like that was really cool to see. I'm very impressed with all of this. Just because of the fact that both of those players was on their toes for every single interaction there was, and like I'm very impressed. Yes, it was a great game on both sides, and yeah, GG's. Hey, that is gonna bring. Let's see here. Where is our bracket? There we go. That's gonna bring Dalibor versus Rax in our next round, which is then gonna be leading up to our grand finals. So, Depths versus Sneak and Show. Oh,
Yeah,
like
no, that's gonna be a good one there. So that's gonna be a super interesting match too. That being said, though, I do think Sneak and Show has the potential to just blow Dalibor out, but man, Dalibor's deck is really built to fight any type of like, oh, you're not gonna combo me on turn 1 or 2? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna take a small break in between in these rounds, and then we will be right back with our final, lower bracket finals. So we'll see you back in just a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.